what is one thing that you do for editing that has saved you time?
Yeah, obviously, imagen-ai has helped me a bunch. I mean, I'll give a little backstory here. So again, everything I talked about before, I realized obviously I need a little bit of help. I need a hand. Outsourcing editing is nothing new in the photography industry. It's very common. There are a lot of photographers who are uncomfortable with it, with good reason. Like I said in the live stream earlier too, because that is your name's on it. It's what people are going to see. It's the representation of you in a visual form. It's how you sell. It's, trust me, there's a lot more that goes into sales than just having pretty pictures. And, there's photographers out there, and, I'm not bashing or anything. They just aren't great photographers, but are great sellers and book a lot of work. Personally, I love the art of it too much. I couldn't do that, but it is possible to book a lot with not putting too much into the artistic side, unfortunately, but a little bit of a tangent. But I like to do both. I like to be good at sales, and I like to be delivering a great product. I enjoy the art of it. If I didn't, I would do something else. I would. I like the art side of it. But so I realized I needed help. I have, again, I mentioned Tiffany before. She's also, an incredible Photoshop operator, and she's really good at Lightroom too. And we've sat down together, and she's gone over my style, and she has all my presets, and we talked about it hours and hours over the past couple of years. So yeah, I trust Tiffany to do my editing, and I think I'll be sending her some work here and there still, but especially when something is going to require more of the hand, either retouching or subject or sky selecting type stuff. I'm still going to be sending her some work, but because of how important she is to my company in terms of being a photographer, I could not realistically expect her to. She has 3 kids. She has a household. She has just as many weddings as I did this year, over 60. She does engagement sessions for the couples that she's going to be the lead shooter for in the future. How can I expect her to do almost as much as I am? And I don't have kids, but I mean, I have a dog. It's not the same. But how am I going to expect her to do that and also edit? So I was, especially as the year got busier, I wasn't able to give her as much. And, it was, I just needed another solution. So I started using an editing company. They've done a good job overall. If I'm going to be paying that kind of money for editing, I might as well be like a hand editor. And also too, like I mentioned on the live stream, there's some logistics issues that come up when you work with a bigger editing company. And again, there's nothing bad to say about them. They've been overall fantastic, but sometimes it's hard to know if you're getting the same people working on it. There's also like scheduling, again, understandably on their end, like if they need to know when I'm going to be sending images in. Otherwise, it's especially the good companies are going to have a lot of people with demand. So it's tough. And it's like, what if I get sick, or if I have something else, an emergency that comes up and I can't meet that deadline? So it's like, I really need a better solution for this. And originally I found Aftershoot, the other software for AI for culling, and I was using that and saving a ton of time. And then I think I saw an Instagram or a Facebook or some kind of advertisement for AI editing, and I looked at it, and it was another company. I don't even remember the name. And I looked at it, and it was like, oh, this is cool, but I can only use their profiles, and I'm very particular about my editing style. And eventually I saw another ad. And actually, you know what? The first company, I forget, it was through a magazine, or, one of my, peers or friends in the industry sent me. She's like, oh, I saw you're using, my friend Amy was like, you're using Aftershoot. And you see this like other software for editing? And I was like, no. And then she sent it to me, and I checked it out, and I was like, oh, it's cool, but it's not doing what I want, because it's only the pre-programmed profiles, which I'm sure are nice. But when I'm 14 years into this, I have a very specific style. So it was like I needed to up the, I wanted to maintain rather that style. But yeah, so I'm saying is that I wanted AI. I love the idea of AI anything, actually, whether it comes to, helping me edit photos or helping me do anything. I'm really interested in technology, but for something as specific as my photography style, I really wanted to be able to have more input on it. And then I saw an ad for imagen-ai, And I looked at the website and I read about it, and I was a little confused at first. I'm like, how does it know? Do I upload like before and afters, or what do I do? And then I did a little research on how it worked, and I gave it a try, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted. It lets me set up a profile based on work I've already done. And then not only that, the real selling point for me was that it's able to learn from what I'm doing. Because like I mentioned on a live stream too, what I think looks good changes over time, right? Like if you're a photographer for as long as I've been, for 14 or 15 years, you're not going to be editing the same way you were even maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So the ability to continuously give feedback to the profile and to the neural network that it runs on is great. So that was the selling point for me, was the ability to start with your own profile and not a built-in one. And there are built-in ones for those who don't have enough images to start with, but the ability to start with your own and to fine-tune it over time was just really fantastic to me.